Michael Jones again. A debt buyer contacted by letter my authorized user for a debt. They say I owe the debt, which is embarrassing. Can they contact them by law or do they break the law? Oh, okay, I see. So we have, let's just say, a Discover credit card, and then Bob is an authorized user. Right? So, my brother, my cousin, whoever, Bob, I say, hey, you can be an authorized user. And so now a debt buyer has sent a letter to the authorized user for the debt. They say, I owe the debt, which is embarrassing. Michael, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen that before. Um, I would say that debt buyer has got a really, really serious problem because under the FDCPA, so I'm assuming this debt's covered by the FDCPA. So it's not business debt, but it's consumer debt. They cannot contact anybody other than the consumer. And I'll get to some exceptions in a second. So the consumer is the person that owes or allegedly owes the debt, the consumer's spouse, and the consumer's attorney. Okay, so Michael, this would be you and your wife and your lawyer, nobody else. So the authorized user, an authorized user does not owe the debt. They simply have the ability to charge on the account, but they have no liability for it unless it's a very, very unusual situation. So if this debt buyer sent a letter to the authorized user saying that you owe this debt, well, they have committed just a terrible violation of the law. And so that's what we call a third-party disclosure. And if you sort of imagine a pyramid, okay, and down here at the bottom, at the lowest level, are some what at least defense lawyers would call kind of minor violations, technical violations. Okay, so they don't maybe disclose to you their debt collector when they leave a voicemail. So those are small cases. But as you work your way up the triangle, the very, very top is the person that's totally innocent. I mean, they do not owe the debt. They're being collected on a debt they do not owe. Those cases are very, very valuable. Well, just right below that are what we call third-party disclosure cases. And so, a debt collector calls your neighbor and says, hey, John Watts owes this debt and you need to go get him to pay. Well, that's a huge violation. And what you've described, Michael, I would say the same thing. I would be incredibly interested in seeing that letter that they sent to that authorized user, and also just more of the details about that, because I think that is a really, really bad violation of the law. And I would definitely look at going after them for that. And let's see, portfolio recovery. Okay, so portfolio recovery is one of the very biggest debt collectors. I mean, you have what is known as Encore, which is Midland Funding, Midland Credit, and Asset Acceptance. But portfolio is probably the second largest debt buyer in the United States. And so for them to do that, that's really bad. So again, I would be very interested in taking a look at that, just seeing what they are doing, because I have never seen that before. That's really amazing.